Continue. So, dear everyone, warm welcome to you to watch us, and warm welcome for those who joined with us. And Alex, I am very curious to understand more your message we already started to say.
Hello, everyone. I'm glad if you are seeing this, and I'm glad if everybody is seeing it in real time. And today we are talking about the rest and effective working, as I understood you correctly before our meeting.
Yes.
I watched your video and you said a couple words about you are locked down for a short period of time, like 10 days. And you came up with the idea that we need rest to be more effective. Am I correct?
Yes, and I hope it's not a secret. You are a psychiatrist?
Yeah.
Officially or just preparing?
I'm
Have you finished your schooling?
psychiatrist and a psychotherapist.
Okay, so your opinion is really important for me. Maybe you have some scientific research behind it, maybe only your experience. I'm very curious about both.
I can say about first my experience, about my knowledge that I took from the past, from the university and my teachers and coaches. Well, definitely you are correct with the words that we need to have rest to be more effective. And this is really important to understand what do we understand under the word effective. Because sometimes it depends on our mind. For some people, it means that it's about money. Some people think that it is about the joy when we are working. So effective is like a strong word with so many definitions. And we have to understand what is to be effective. What is to be effective personally for me? And if I do understand what is effective for me, I do know what are my needs that I have to feed to be effective. And if I know my needs, I can meet these needs with some ways. And that's why I can say that my main thought about this was like, if we want to be effective, we have to rest effectively. That means that, yes, you have a question?
So are you saying, based on your studies and experience, the more rested I am, the more likely I will be effective? And in order to be effective, it's very important to have clarity what effective means to me.
Yes.
And especially which needs do I try to meet by them?
Yeah.
For me, effectiveness means for more than 10 years, I carry myself a huge pile of unanswered emails. And I would like to be able to answer each email within a week. That would meet, first of all, my need for mutual respect. So I could express respect, care toward those who wrote to me. And so far, my favorite strategy I have heard but never dared to do, it comes from a 15-year-old lady whose simple closed the email account and started a new one. So she didn't bother about that couple of hundred of emails. That would meet my need for ease, but definitely not my need for respect and care not only toward others, but some people says behind my back and sometimes to my eye, they appreciate my training, but the way I respond for organizational issues, it's just horror and they don't wish to work with me. So, am I at the right path, Alex? Based on your logic.
Did I understand you correctly that you want to be more effective by answering the hundreds of messages that you haven't answered in 10 years?
Yes.
And
I would like to be able. I would like to be able to answer each work-related message within 1 week.
Mm-hmm. And if you do this, then you will cover your need for mutual respect and care.
Yes.
And this is about care about others. What about care about yourself?
There is some self-care because I've lost some. It was very painful when I lost some of my work possibilities by not answering emails on time.
Mm-hmm. Would it help you if you answer now?
Like dropping this conversation and go back to my stupid emails?
Maybe after this conversation, would it help you if you answer the emails that are 1 year past or half year past?
Those who are in my inbox, yes, because I already selected them, and only those who are still want to restore the connection.
Mm-hmm.
I am more focusing on creating new habits. Like now, my big problem is not so much from the past, but it is more from how to create the habits which will support me.
Mm-hmm. So what do you really want? Do you want to answer the messages for 10 years, or do you want to have a new habit to answer your work messages on time?
I would like to receive support in the form of ideas, how I can cultivate a new habit to answer each message, ideally within 25 hours, but maximum within a week.
Mm-hmm. So it sounds like you need some resources to find time and find the willingness to do this job.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm very curious about your ideas and what helped you, what worked for you, relation to rest and effectiveness.
Yes, I want to ask you about what stops you to do this job.
I sit down and then I watch this and this and that, and I read million interesting things, and I don't do it. Stupid emails are not answered.
So you are like overloaded with the information coming into your email.
Yes. Not what I noticed in myself, and that NVC helped me a lot to make pure observation without evaluating myself, how lazy, non-focused, non-self-disciplined I am. So what I noticed, instead of doing the hard tasks, such as sending all what the accountant asked for, I am reading interesting articles. That's what I catch myself many times.
Mm-hmm.
And
What
I'm very,
of your
yes?
Which of your needs are unmet when you're receiving that numbers of emails?
Probably my problem is not receiving that number of emails. My problem is not responding to them on time. And the unmet need is expressing care, consideration, respect. But this care is not only for others, but for myself as well.
Mm-hmm. But which of your needs are unmet when you are receiving a huge amount of emails?
I'm not aware of if any of my need is not met when I am receiving so many emails.
So you are okay to see that you have 100 emails in a day for work. That doesn't bother you.
I don't see, like, reducing the number of emails I receive. That is, I've signed off from sources that I don't want to receive emails, or it goes to a separate email and I look at it whenever I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't see as a next step to reduce the number of emails I receive.
Mm-hmm. But when you see that some of the emails are important and they are for your job, from accountants or customers or someone, what do you feel?
Excitedly reading them, and then deciding later on I will answer. And then usually I come back in 2 months or much longer than it would be relationship nurturing.
Mm-hmm. What need do you feed when you do not answer them?
In that very moment, I'm suspicious, I am just overwhelmed, and I want to rest, or I don't have self-discipline, or I don't
Mm-hmm.
have the ability to focus.
Mm-hmm. Sounds a little bit self-criticizing. And I like to hear the words that you are in a lack of rest at that moment. And that's the point. We are talking about the rest and effective working. And you are saying that when I meet my job, sometimes I don't feel, I cannot face it because I need to rest. And I'm doing other job. I'm seeing stories, reading stories or something, but not answering to the people. And that's why we talking about this. Sometimes we are overwhelmed with our work stuff, with our work tasks. It's too much for us, and we forget about to feed ourselves, because we have so many needs. The nonviolent communication is all about that, that we have like a half of 100 needs, and we have to feed that needs, all of them. We all have needs in a mutual respect. We all have needs in care or water or anything. And the rest is very important need. And we have to know, we have to be aware what is the rest for us, because every of us is different, and we understand under the rest different things. More than that, in different moments, we might have need different rest. For example, if I'm climbing the mountain for the whole day, the rest for me in the evening is to lie and maybe read a book and not to go anywhere. If I was in a contact with people for the whole day, I have to get back my social resources to be alone. And these things are about to be effective not only at work, but to be effective in rest too. And to be effective in rest, we have to really know what is the rest for us. What times, yes?
So if I want to increase my effectiveness, it is important not just to have time to rest, but to have inner clarity in that moment, which kind of rest would nurture me.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
For example, I can imagine that if you had a training day, you were in contact with 20 or 30 people for the whole day. You coming back home, open up your email box, and you see the email from accountant. And this is kind of a contact. Nowadays, it's kind of a contact with a man when we have an email or a message in a chat. But you need to get rest from the contact, because you need to fulfill yourself with your forces, your, I don't know what can be healing for you. Reading a book, watching the TV series, or just meditation or sleeping. And if you are aware that you have forces to be in a contact again, then you can go to your email and to make this contact with these people. Okay. This is a different kind of a contact, but still, you have a message from someone and you're answering someone. It takes forces.
So, are you saying if I want to increase my effectiveness, first of all, it is helpful to know how do I define effectiveness? And probably I won't be able to do it without proper rest. And if I would like to have rest, it's very important to be aware at this moment which kind of rest would really nurture me.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah.
Thank you. for me, this was thank you. It was very helpful. Anything else you wish to share before we move on, maybe to listen to others as well?
Maybe small promotion about the method I'm working. This is the positive psychotherapy, positive transcultural psychotherapy, and all these things that I was saying about is about balance. And we can balance our rest and we can balance our job, our work as well. And when we know where is too much, in which part of my life energy, to which part of my life I put too much energy, I know how to fix that and how to move this energy to another parts of my life that can bring me forces. And these parts of the life is, first one is our body. This is really important part of our life. Another part of life is our job, our work, our things that we do. The third part is our communication, all the contacts that we have. And the fourth part is our future and our thoughts. All the time we are thinking and planning our future. And we can balance in this circle. So if somebody interested in this, you can find out information in internet. There pretty much about that.
So if I find the balance with my body, what was the second, third, and my future and thoughts? And there was something in between.
Yeah, the first part is body. The second part is our action, like what we do.
Uh-huh.
The third is connection, contact. Uh-huh. And the fourth is future and thoughts, fantasies, anything like it's not material.
Mm-hmm. So if I find the balance at these areas of life, that can be effective that can increase my effectiveness.
Yes.
So this is an effective method this is an effective method to increase my effectiveness.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Anything else, Alex, you still would enjoy to share with us?
I think that's all for the time.
Thank you for this conversation. When I initiated this recording, I was more thinking about you sharing what you just shared. And thanks for the understanding I got from you. One of the biggest learning is one of my close friend, he is speaking about recreation. So the theory of different kind of rest, I was quite aware of it, but this was somehow the first time when I started to think about how I can integrate into my life. And I have lots of blocks against rest. It's not in my vocabulary. I remember asking my meditation teacher when he was like, oh, no, I was learning yoga from him and he was like telling me, maybe you just rest. And I asked, what am I supposed to do when I don't do anything? And it was not in a nice, loving tone of voice, but it's with a lot of frustration of like, leave me alone with this stupidity of like, take it easy, slow down, blah, blah, blah. But when I have so many things, then it's how to do it. So thank you. This was very supportive to me. And would you like to share anything? And this would be my question to everyone who is here. how is your relationship with this balance you just suggested to us, Alex? Are you 100% satisfied with it? You know the theory and nothing in practice? Alex, do you plan to answer? Do you need more time, or did we lose you?
I thought that you're answering the other people about this theory.
First, let's start with you. You know, you being a psychiatrist is more exciting. How is it for you?
For me, it was for the first time I met this idea. It was hard to realize, and I learned myself as a person who does too many things, and the person who doesn't care about context, body, and thoughts, because the 85% of my energy was coming to my business things. And I felt myself not good that period of time, and that was a good moment for me to think about that something goes wrong. And since that moment, I'm trying to balance every day. I'm thinking about my body. I'm thinking about what I'm doing. I'm thinking about with whom do I do communication, and I'm thinking about how much time do I spend for thinking. And I try to hear my body every day to find the answer. What do I need more to run another 15 kilometers, or to swim, or to climb, or to have rest, or to take a bath? Because it's important, and I have to feed my body. If I don't have healthy body, I won't have resources to live further. When I work, I always I'm trying to be always aware that I'm not overwhelmed. I have some patience, and I have some rules that I have a limit of patience for a day. Because if I have more than this limit, I won't be such a good doctor. I cannot be a good psychotherapist, because I have limits and I know them. And every day I know with whom do I want to be in a contact. And every day I spend some time about thinking what's happening in my life and what will happen further. And of course, it sometimes happens that sometimes I want to run like 20 kilometers a day. And these days are more for body. Some days I meet my friends and I can spend the whole day with the friends. And this is a communication day. And of course, there are days for work. I have patients, I have projects, I have even like a job communication, but it's still doing the things. And I have days for planning the future, to plan things for next year, for example. Sometimes it might take time. And I'm aware about that. So I know if I have the special day, in the next days, I can recover my balance. I have to go back to the other points of my life. And in each part, I can work, and each part, I can have some rest.
So the 4 areas: body, work, contact, and thinking.
Yeah.
Thank you, Alex. I really appreciate. I just sent these 4 things in the chat. For those of us, for me, it was not easy to memorize this. Are you okay if we move on?
Of course.
Beata, you as an ex-university professor and present nonviolent communication trainer, how do you feel about the idea to continue?
I'm thrilled and excited, and I have some questions for you. And I wrote half of the page. Are you willing to answer some?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So I will try to look at them, because when you were talking, I had some ideas and I had some questions. And my question is, do you like replying to emails?
When I'm in a mood, yes. I am. My brother has a work managing lorries or trucks, and I cannot speak with him for more than 15 minutes without having a phone call. Oh no. Okay, I got it. And I'm very happy.
Without having
phone
what? Phone call.
And I'm so happy. Emails give me the freedom to answer when I have time, and not every 10 minutes someone is calling me.
What does
Beata, we promised 1 hour, and we have a couple more people to listen to. So I don't know, I'm a little worried about how much time we spend on this. At the same time, I'm very happy to answer your questions.
So what would you like to do now?
Do you have an estimation how much time it will take?
It depends on your answers.
Try to be in 1 sentence, and then I'm very curious about you.
Okay. So what does it mean that you are in the mood? How often you are in the mood? When you are in the mood?
When I'm rested. Now this is my new discovery.
Okay. So what does it mean when you are rested? What you have to do to be rested?
Most of the time I sleep enough. That's not a big problem anymore. Probably what Alex, what he said when, I don't know, I had a training with 20 people from 9 till 5, and then I go home and then I beat myself up. Why am I not more focused to answer emails?
So you know the answer, because you are not rested.
Yes, I know.
Okay.
And this is a new discovery. I don't know, that somehow it's being tired was not in my vocabulary. And recently, many times I asked myself, how do I feel? And I realized I am tired. So this is a new discovery.
Okay. So I have one more question. When you are rested, during one go, how many emails can you answer?
Oh, I cannot answer it because
Okay.
it's so different.
Okay.
We have this trainer forum for certified trainers, and hundreds of emails come in. And sometimes most of them don't need to be answered, but I love to read them. So they are the not urgent ones.
Okay, so because we don't have time, I will tell you my thought, and then you can tell me that it won't work for you, okay?
Yeah, And I'm very interested in how do you manage it? Like you, rest, effectiveness. Yes.
So what first?
Up to you.
Okay. So one thing which came to my mind, I would like to support you with these emails because I hear it not the first time, so I'm less interested in my thing. But I was thinking that maybe you have some capacity, like you are able to spend like half an hour doing emails. And maybe this is kind of choice, how many you can do. Maybe you can do only 3, and then you can pick up which 3. Maybe you can spend half an hour, so you are picking what you are doing in this half an hour. Maybe you can do 10 emails. Maybe it's that you can answer emails if you know that you don't have to produce half of the page, but maybe you can answer with 2 sentences. So maybe you can play with the length of the emails, and get it done even if it's short, or reply to only one aspect of the email, not to all 10. But this way, somebody will get the answer, and your need for care and mutual respect would be somehow at least maybe supported.
Thank you.
And parts of the things I told you, this is also how I deal with emails. And I pick with whom I really want to have contact, who is important for me, so that I really want to answer in the first instance. Like I really care about this connection. Then I play with length. Sometimes I answer with 1 sentence. Sometimes I answer thank you. And there was one more thing. Yeah, if there is an answer about a work or something and you don't answer, I would ask myself if I really want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I don't answer because I'm not clear.
Mm-hmm.
So take or leave it.
Mm-hmm. So the 2 main thing is, do I really want to answer? And the other one is maybe a shorter one is enough.
Or to know how much time you can spend with emails.
Mm-hmm.
And there's one more. If you are doing some other things, I would say it means that you are bored with doing emails. Like you are looking for something creative, stimulating, that you are reading stuff, what is interesting for you.
Mm-hmm.
My assumption would be the emails are not interesting. Then do something that they are interesting, or maybe give it to somebody else who will sort them out and give you only those which are the most important.
Mm-hmm.
So these are advices. You never asked for advices, but you got some.
Thank you.
And I am on time with my emails, usually.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least I don't, I sleep well about my emails, even if I don't answer them.
Okay, so you have inner peace and more or less okay how you deal with them. Mm-hmm. Thank you, Becky. How about to continue with you, Piotr?
Well, I worked as an engineer for many years in help desk also, so I received hundreds of emails. If I went for 2 weeks vacation, after I came back, I had 1,500 or even 2,000 emails without spam. So I learned to categorize them, which of them are important and I want to read and answer, because the topic is important for me, or is related to my job, or I really care about this. Or Other thing could be taking care of the relation with this person. So I really care about the relation with this person. That's why I want to answer first, or it can be even a short answer that I'm busy right now. I will answer in 2 days. So give them to take care of the relationship. And there are other emails that, that I put into category, well, if this is really important, someone will write again and let me know. And it worked for me. So what is really important for me is to choose if I want to answer, or if I don't answer, what consequences there can be, and if I'm happy to live with the consequences if I don't answer. So I could say the same in the term of needs. What my needs will be met if I answer and not met, and which of them will be met or not met if I don't answer, and then make a choice. And that works for me.
Is that all, Piotr?
Yes, unless you have any questions. So
thank you.
afterwards.
I very much took notes. I very much liked what you said, and I just would like to introduce you and Beata as two of my colleagues from Poland, and I'm very happy to see you again. And
thank you. I'm very happy to see you too. And I wish you would do it more often.
hope we'll create a habit that I can sustain. And maybe to go with Sahar before your new customer comes.
Yeah, thank you for the whole meeting. I enjoyed talking about it, and I appreciate your openness. Uh, when I get inside and check myself, uh, I find out if I have this challenge for a long time with some things. I don't know, after a year or 2 years, I take it out of my plans and I believe I don't like it, so I don't do it. So why should I have this pressure on me? And I just remembered lots of things that I left it because I don't want to do it. I like to do it and I have it for a while, but I don't know how clear I am.
Please, would you say an example?
Yeah. You know my friend Kamran? Always he has a long list to do. And as I love him and I love to support him, I used to say yes. But it stay in my room for months and months. And now I find out if I don't do some things, it means I don't like to do it. Probably I can support him in another way that I enjoy more. Then it's not really joyful for me. It can't be with, even if I cannot do it with the quality I love. So now I just say no at the beginning, or if I recognize in the middle of the process, yeah, I say no and I apologize for that. And I don't keep doing it. Even if logically, I think that's a good thing to do, but I don't do it.
Sahar, is there a hidden message?
Yeah.
You heard from me for so many years how much I struggle with my emails. I should just totally stop answering them.
or just mirror my message, my emails. I can take it as you enjoy answering it. But when I hear from someone else, we cannot find Eva, we sent her, I don't know, tons of message and she didn't answer. So you don't enjoy. Just tell them.
Thank you. We'll contemplate on it. Anything else you wish to share with us?
Just thank you. And of course, I need to think more about all of my examples. That was just comes up right now.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. We have 3 minutes before our planned 1 hour is complete, and we still have Elena and Grisha. Any of you has time pressure? Okay, Elena.
Okay,
Welcome.
hi everyone.
How is your connection with effectiveness?
It depends on my mood. I'm very much like you in this, but with email I'm more or less okay. Because I have when I have no resource at all, I clean my email, because for me it's very primitive job which doesn't need a lot of mental thinking. Therefore, I know that when this thought that I have nothing to do come to my mind, I know what to do. I can just click and take away unuseful messages. For example, all subscriptions. And I, especially, for example, I know that I have some subscriptions or some people from LinkedIn, for example, yes, messages. So what did I do? I write certain email, and all hundreds messages from this email are in the one row. I delete them, or I can check if the topics can be interesting and read them after. Then I also have a habit to clean my spam. Because sometimes it happened that emails come to spam, which I really need, and you very easily can identify them just looking on the page of spam. So I try not to keep unanswered messages, and if I'm being you and have so many messages, I can ask someone, if I don't know how to do it by myself, to make this MailChimp or something like this. So it can give automatic message. At least person can know that, okay, I'm in Ukraine, for example, now, and I can answer you right now. I can answer you in 10 days, something like this. Or even saying like, thank you, I will come back to your message as soon as I have free time. In this case, my consciousness will be a little bit, let's say, satisfied. This is how I could behave if I face this exactly problem. Okay, I'd like to give some time to Grisha. And thank you.
Thank you, Elena. Дорогой Grisha.
Yes.
You are, for me, a role model of effectiveness. That is my image of you.
Unfortunately, I'm not effective at all. Efficiency is not my main skill. I've heard several questions. like emailing as a tool, a question of being efficient and in terms of like having enough rest, and also a question of connection with people who are important. And I may I ask you a question? What question should I answer, or should I share my experience about?
How do you keep track of your effectiveness?
For me, my effectiveness is how I think about it. I need to achieve some goal or result. I act towards that goal, move towards that goal, and I spend some resources. So I need to spend less resources to achieve that goal. The less I can at this moment. Resources, generally, they can be my health, my time, money, maybe in a business environment, my colleagues' time, and also their health and their, them. And so I need to manage those resources, and I need to find the shortest way to that goal. Mm-hmm. And I use like PDSA model by Deming, the cycle that is always running, like and generally I act in very in environment that I know, and pardon? Okay. And for example, I need to do like every day I do the same thing, do same things, and I always try to do them better the next day. Like I plan something, do that, then study PDSA, and then adjust the model. And this every time I repeat the action, I try to make it more efficient.
Plan, do, study, and what was the fourth one?
Adjust. I don't remember actually how Deming defined that. Make an adjustment, like reflect on that on the outcome of the action. Think it over and make some adjustment to do it maybe a bit like a bit more efficient.
Okay.
So, and in terms of emailing, I don't like emails at all. All my colleagues know that. I just delete them. Actually, mailing is very ancient way to communicate. Not nowadays. Not I think not the best one. And for myself, I know that mailing is not the best. Email is not the best tool for me. Not the best instrument for me to to keep connection with people who are important for me, and also who I do business with. So I organize with them different ways of communication. For example, in business environment, I organize meetings, regular meetings. For example, every week, I meet weekly with the same people on the project we are working with now. And I do not actually write emails in that week on that project. Meetings and documents help me not to mail people and not them to mail me. So I don't use that channel, don't use that tool. And if we are talking about people who are important in my personal life, not business, I also try to meet with them. in person, not mailing. And if we're talking about the question what to do with that 1,000 of mails in the mailbox, all coaches who coach time management, all that zero inbox stuff and getting things done and all that, they say that you must choose a time, like a day or maybe a week, weekends, to a couple of days, and start with the first mail and end with the last one. Like clear your email box one at a time. Maybe you will spend the week for that, but and then you need to find a regular time in your calendar to set like small amounts of time every day, maybe, or every week to answer the mails.
Mm-hmm.
To keep the box empty. To keep inbox empty. But for me, it doesn't work, so I do not use email channel.
Thank you. Did we listen to you?
I think yes.
Спасибо. I got lots of food for thought. And from your smile, Alex, I assume you wish to add something?
Yes, I think that I had an insight because you asked about to have a new habit to work with your emails, and we spoke a lot right now about this problem like emails. And I have maybe feedback for Sahar, and I heard about the borders. I think this is the really important thing. What are your borders? Like if you are getting more than 10 emails, work emails a day, these might be over your borders. And you have to be aware about your borders. If you know the borders, you won't be frustrated when you have too much work. Because when you know your borders, you can regulate the information's incoming or outcoming. So if you know that your borders about the emails are so that you don't want to work with email, like Grisha said, like email is not effective nowadays. Maybe there are another channels to communicate. There are another another channels. And you can say to the people that this is your borders. If you want to have the things about work, you can contact me via another messenger. Sometimes it helps. Maybe it's just because the email, if someone will send you a message in a messenger or in Telegram or somewhere, that might be more effective for you. Or you can have another man who works with the emails and with the accountants and with this stuff, like the helping man. So this is really important part to know what are your borders, because if you don't know your borders, you can be easily overwhelmed. When you know your borders, you can show your borders to others, and then all the things with all the deals, all the stuff with others might go better and easily when the borders are clear. So this is the thing that I wanted to add. And thank you all for your opinions and your experiences.
Thank you, Alex. I would love to hear anyone else before we say goodbye to each other. I would love to hear minimum 1 word, maximum 2 sentences. How was this time for you today? Who is ready to start? Please turn on your microphone. Yes, Grisha.
I'm excited about quality of listening. Not the topic, but the quality of silence and attention within that group, within that Zoom call. Very unexpected, and I usually do not experience that in my regular life. So I appreciate that greatly.
Grisha, do you plan to show it to your boss and to say, this is the experience I wish to have our meetings?
Not exactly. He is a very good and very attentive listener, by the way.
Wow.
He's very empathic. I don't know how to say empathic, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But generally in the meetings in business environment, everybody wants to share, to shout something out loud. And this Zoom call showed me the very, very high quality of listening. That was very, very impressive. That impressed me very much.
Thank you. And thank you for the quality of your listening as well. And your sharing too. Sahar?
I really appreciate all of customers didn't come. So I had more time to be with you. I enjoyed both the atmosphere of the group and the topic. And thank you.
Thanks for you and for your non-coming customers as well.
I think it's done.
Thank you. Elena?
Thanks for this topic, and thanks for the raising question in your video, which you, I think, posted like 1 day ago about like when it's time to rest. I even made a report because it's touched me, and where is this work-life balance, especially if you don't work as me right now on constant basis, permanent basis. So the topic was interesting, and the manner how people share very clearly, and your provocative answers and questions also very much appreciated with me. Thank you very much. And I was curious to listen others. That was also very, let's say, expanding for me, expanding my vision.
Thank you, Elena. Who goes next?
You wanted 2 words. So it will be excited and waiting for more.
Ďakujem. Piotr, and then Alex.
I enjoyed the time, and I will fully agree with Grisha that in NVC there is different quality of being and listening, and not only speaking. So I enjoyed it, and I'm also waiting for more.
Thank you very much.
I am super grateful for you, Eva, to organize this meeting. I'm super grateful for the group. all of us are great listeners, definitely. And I was glad to be here. And I feel that I am inspired because this meeting for me was about self-actualization and care about the society, maybe. And yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you, Alex. Without you, this meeting wouldn't have happened. I feel a little bit of unease taking so much time and attention. And I am super excited and grateful because I'm dealing with this topic for a while. And seems to me I arrive to myself closer and closer. And I'm going to leave with the question of why do I carry that pain which is attached to unanswered emails? Because somehow that is the place where I am right now. And we'll let you know where do I end up or where I am with this issue. And thank you again. And I got the question by email. Yes, I believe these hundreds of unanswered emails, and that is, yeah, that's where I am. Was I clear, Beata? So are you asking if I am letting you know by email or not? I love you, Beata. Really, I loved you before, but now I love you more. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You can wait for my email. До свидания. Всего хорошего. Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Beata. Bye.